Happy Movement Mondays. Today we are doing primarily a upper body superset workout. I'm starting off with tricep extensions, and it is a little bit challenging because my boyfriend added heavier weight to it. So I'm definitely feeling that extra resistance. And as you can see, my stance, I'm actually contracting my core muscles, and I had to lower the weight a little bit because it was clearly not doable. And obviously, if something is too heavy for you to do where you're not able to accurately perform the exercise, I would suggest lowering the weight, which is exactly what I just did. Now to get my back muscles, I'm going to do some lat pull downs. And I believe I have my weight at 70. I'm bringing it all the way down at an angle, and the weight that I have it on is 70 pounds. I progressed. So I used to do these only on 50 pounds, and I was at 60 pounds for the longest. So here you can see I'm at 70. So I clearly have gone up 20 pounds from my normal weight. But it's not as challenging, right? So if something feels very challenging, you want to lower the weight. If something feels a little bit too easy, you want to increase the weight. And that's exactly what I did. Here we are jumping into our superset combo. So we're doing frontal lateral raises, bringing the dumbbells out to the side and in the front and bringing them out. I like to call them out and ins because that's exactly what we're doing here. And it's a really good shoulder workout. Now I'm back to my tricep extensions. I'm looking and laughing at you guys because it is really heavy, and that's because my boyfriend just did his set on it, and I'm not even sure what weight it is. But I'm also in a stance where I'm contracting my core muscles so that I'm also engaging my abs. So it's very important to use your time effectively and efficiently when you are exercising, because no one wants to, well, I don't know about you, but I don't want to make things harder in my life than they need to be. So I'm going to lower that weight, and I'm going to jump into my next set, and I'm going to make sure that I'm contracting my core muscles as I'm pulling down that bar. Using that bar, bringing it all the way down to my leg, and I'm at an angle to where my abs are being contracted. So I'm technically working my arms and abs in this one exercise movement. It is very important to breathe, nice deep breaths, getting that oxygen and blood flow to your muscles. And make sure that you're also challenging yourself. It's very important to challenge yourself a little bit more than you normally would, especially if you feel like your body can take it. Because once our bodies adapt to a change, then we need to switch things up as our bodies have adapted to our change. So once your body gets used to you doing something over a certain amount of time, your body becomes adapted to it, and then you need to switch things up so that you can confuse your muscles, and that's how the muscles have adaptation and they're able to grow and build. We're back at our shoulder frontal lateral raises. Again, nice deep breaths. And I suggest, because these exercises, frontal lateral raises, are typically a little bit more challenging, so I would suggest using lighter weight, just because we don't typically do this particular exercise in our day-to-day life. So it is a little bit more hefty, if that makes sense. Now we are showing you guys this is the chest press magnet press. So the dumbbells are together, so you kind of glue them together and you're pressing up. This is a great exercise for your pec muscles in your chest and also your triceps. Now we are jumping into our hammer curls, and as you can see, you want to squeeze. Every time you bring the dumbbell up toward your shoulders, you want to squeeze your hands into those free weights. And of course, you are resting and breathing in between sets. And you all should remember this exercise, frontal lateral raises, really getting that beautiful shoulder work. So we have nice sculpted shoulders. And I am pretty much getting tired at this point. My arms are burning, which is what we want. We want that burn. We want that sensation so that our muscles can eventually adapt. I believe we are on set 3. I clipped out the first set but you get the idea. We basically did 3 sets of each of these exercises in a superset. So we did magnet chest press, and then we did hammer curls, and then we did frontal lateral raises, working our shoulders. So we primarily worked our shoulders, our bicep and tricep muscles, and our chest. So full upper body. Now, speaking of upper body, we are now working our back muscles. We are using the rows and also the lat pull down machine. And sometimes you're going to need to adjust the seat. Okay, depending on where you're going to feel it in your back muscles. I really like to feel it in basically my full back. So I need to make sure the seat, but apparently I forgot the seat is actually jammed. So what I did was, I'll actually show you in the video. I basically, I adjusted to my environment. It clearly wasn't, the seat was jammed. So I still had to persevere and finish my workout. And notice how I'm sitting. I'm sitting a little bit more upright and leaned back, because I really want to aim and hit certain muscle groups. I want to target certain back muscle groups for this exercise. But because the seat isn't necessarily where I prefer it, I'm able to adjust and adapt. And as you can see, I'm also doing variations. I'm doing one arm at a time. And mind you, this whole time, my arm is burning. Okay, my arms are on fire at this point, because we've already been working out for a while now. So my body is pretty warmed up. My muscles are pretty tiring out. And I'm really feeling that burning sensation in my muscles. Now we have moved on to, again, tricep extensions, arm extensions, and really working the back side of my arms. Tricep extensions, bringing those arms back. I'm pulling down and resisting that weight. So I still feel this exercise as I'm recording this now. This was yesterday, so I'm definitely still sore. Normally when I work out, I get sore like maybe 2 days after I do an exercise, but I was sore literally that same day. Like I felt it working instantaneously. And sometimes that happens. It just depends on your body and what your body is used to and what your body can cope with during that time. So here we are doing arm curls, aka bicep curls. I love these because you always want to flex. Every time you draw your arms up, you flex and you relax. Then you squeeze and flex and relax. Squeeze and flex and relax. Always smile, because why not? And you also want to breathe. Breathing is very important. I stress that so much. Even when you're not exercising, you want to make sure you're taking adequate breaths, and you want to breathe in your nose and out of your mouth. We are back for another round, and one of my students had asked me a question, and they said, "Why do you like exercising so much?" And I said, that's a really great question, especially coming from a middle school student. And I said, well, exercising is just a part of my life. I was an athlete. Softball was my main sport. I played basketball. I did soccer here and there. But mainly I played softball. I did football, powder puff in high school. But softball was my main sport. So for the most part, I pretty much had to stay in shape. Look at me breathing. You see me breathing and kind of stretching out those little kinks in my body. Anyways, so I had to pretty much stay in shape, okay, all of the time I played sports in my youth. And we had a lot of conditioning and strength conditioning that we had to do. And I loved it. I honestly loved playing a sport. I loved being a team player. I loved working and meeting new people. I loved traveling to different schools and working with different people. I really enjoyed it. And what I mostly enjoyed about it was that I was active. I was moving my body. And that's why I exercise to this day, because it's something that I love to do. Whereas most people on average maybe don't like the idea of exercising. I do. Okay. So if you're watching this, maybe you do like exercising, but I come across a lot of people that don't really like to do it. And I wouldn't see it as something that you have to do. I see it as something that you need to do for yourself. Like just how you need to wake up and brush your teeth and wash your face, you need to move your body. Okay. We need to be moving our bodies. And most times in these day and ages, we're not moving as much as we used to. Hence why we have diabetes rates, depression rates, and anxiety rates so high. They are skyrocket. Astronomical data statistics have shown that these incidences have increased over time. So in order to combat that, in order to lower the rates and eventually eradicate them, we have to move our body and be active. Now I am pretty much ending my workout with a walk, and I like to do this because cardio is very important. Just as strength training is important, so is cardio. Now, if you could argue and say, well, Ashley, which one do you say? If I can only pick one, I would obviously tell you to do strength training, aka resistance training, lifting weights, okay? Because when you're lifting weights, you're resisting and your muscles are adapting. So that eventually is still getting your heart rate up, and you're also building muscle and burning fat. So of course I would say, lifting weights obviously trumps cardio. But if you're someone like myself who has put on a few pounds, as I lost weight, you can watch my other YouTube videos. I lost about 50 pounds last year in 2024, and I actually gained it all back toward the end of 2024. So unfortunately that happened for me, but it's okay. Life is about the journey in itself. It's not always about the destination. The destination is our end goal, but in order to get there, we have to enjoy the journey. Sometimes we fall off, and that's okay. But it's important to pick yourself back up and keep going. How was your workout, babe?
Good.
Does the rain bother you?
No, stop it again.
Great workouts. Thank you all so much for tuning in and watching this video all the way through. Make sure to give it a like and subscribe for more videos like this. I really do enjoy doing these talkovers with my video commentary and also the workouts in the background. So make sure to stay tuned for the next one, and make sure to get moving on Mondays. Workout Wednesdays will be next, and love y'all. Bye.